Any other directors? I've got some definite thoughts on being the president. Haven't done it for 2 years, and I'm sure if Director Ray were here, he'd give you four years worth of comments. I think the person that would fill the role of president needs to put the board above themselves. One of the questions I've had in the last few days is, Mike, why didn't you let people know earlier that you were resigning? For transparency, I sent a letter, email to all the board members, what was it? I don't know, 10 days ago, Monday the 20th. Thank you, Secretary Myers. And the reason I did that, and I think a president needs to reflect this, is you need to put the district and the interests of the staff and the students before yourself as an individual. So for people who are wondering why, because I was out there advocating for 5A and 5B, and I needed to be able to continue to do that effectively. I think that the person that sits here needs to have a reason for being here that transcends political agendas. One of the reasons I ran with the 4 up here, and the reason that I agreed to be president, is we were able to put kids first. And that's something that I saw reflected in Director Geiger a year ago. He was out campaigning, not even a member of the board, and he was out there campaigning for 5A and 5B. Just last night, he came up to me and he said, "Are you okay?" And now he's a divorce lawyer and asked me if I was getting divorced. But it was a genuine concern for another board member. So I did want to recognize that. And you need people like Director Geiger, like everyone on this board, that's willing to put the board and the district's interests before themselves. We have seen a lot of division. Director Meek, I think if people were ever playing board director bingo at home and they had the word trust in the center square, they probably did pretty well over these last 2 years, because you tend to hit trust. And trust is absolutely critical. And we need somebody as a president that's willing to bridge the partisan divide. One of the things I've seen as president, and it's something I learned as president, is that we have a continuum here. And the continuum on the far right and the continuum on the far left is incredibly similar. When you look at the spectrum between hate, dislike, tolerance, sympathy, and celebration, we have too many people on the right and the left and the extreme sides that take anything short of celebration of their position as hate, and they label as so. And then what do? They create division, whether it's division among board members, whether it's division in the community, whether it's division among everything that we hold dear in Douglas County. And we need to have a president that is willing not to be a partisan, but someone that is a potential partner to other board members with different perspectives, a partner to our community, the people that support our folks in CTE, and first and foremost, a partner to our staff, whether it's the superintendent, the cabinet, all the way down to our newest nutritional service, EA person, SRO, security specialist. We have somebody that has to deny this partisanship and look to unite this district. That's something that I want to see here. And we cannot have discord, division, slander. We cannot have people calling for unity in public and then undermining things in the past. I am not allowed to speak negatively about any of my board members, but when I went out there and I announced my resignation in private to the board members via an official memo and transparency, I could have done what the last board member did that resigned. I could have just showed up and announced it in the middle of a board member meeting, got up and walked out and said, "I'm done." Think about the state that we would be in right now. Instead of electing a president, it would be absolutely chaos in this district. So we need someone who's willing to ride it through and ensure, first and foremost, stability and continuity for our staff. Because when they have that, they can do what they do best, and that's the mission. What our staff does best is take care of our kids. So I would like to see that. The last couple things that I would like to see in a president, I would like to see leadership. When I came in as one director, I saw, in my perspective, that this district was starved for leadership. I saw it in our cabinet. I read the body language. Heads down, slumped, people doing their jobs, just going forward. And I wanted to bring that leadership to this district. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking the search that we did. We had 2 outstanding candidates to come in here for superintendent. The only person that I would never vote for that we had potentially as a superintendent was Andy Abner. You know why? Because he really wanted to be a principal. And he was really good at it. And he really didn't want to be superintendent, although I thought he would be awesome. So we need a president that's going to support that leadership, not the leadership of the board, because it's not about this board. The leadership of the district, starting with the superintendent, going through the cabinet, going to our individual classroom teachers. And then that needs to be someone who, again, you're going to have a choice. Not just presidents, but all the directors supporting the president. You get to pick one. You can pick partisanship or you can pick partnership, but you can't pick both. We need a president that is going to promote partnership. A year ago, 5A and 5B lost. One of the reasons I believe that happened is we had a union leader who is no longer the union leader because of this, that I believe chose partisanship over what was right for the district. Well, guess what? The union got new leadership. That new union leadership came to this board, all 7 of us, with some pretty reasonable demands, things like a little bit of personal time, little things that we could do. Not really the board, most of it was the superintendent, right? And she did it because the union, somebody who I traditionally have not gotten along with, came with a common ground. And you know what else I had common ground with the union on? Passing 5A and 5B. And if you have met Lucy Squire, she took Kevin D. Pasquale's place. Yeah, she's a union person and I disagree with her. I've also been in our classroom. Guess what else Lucy Squire is? She's an excellent teacher, right? And we need people that can see, especially a president, that can see beyond that divide. And I know I'm going a little long and I will wrap it up with the last 2 things here. We need a president that can see beyond the elections and the partisanship that they come in. Someone that does not align themselves with the wills of the political parties in this county, but aligns itself with the will of the voters that are looking to preserve this district. Your job as a board is not to align to the Democrats, to the Republicans. Your job is to protect and support and resource and back this district as a servant leader. And I will tell you, I think the Douglas County GOP is dysfunctional. I think the left here is dysfunctional, not just in Douglas County in Colorado. If you want to read my opinions on the Douglas County GOP, read Joy Overbeck's article of November 24th. I will not disagree with a single word. And when you look at what went on in the Golden Dome to all voters in response to Proposition HH, and you look at an email that all our directors received from our governor asking us to defund ourselves, that doesn't show that our governor understands School Finance Act, we cannot have that type of division. They, and I'm talking about both sides, have picked partisanship. And a lot of people have said, wait till it gets bad enough, people will change. This board and the president does not have to wait until it gets bad enough in Douglas County. The 6 of you can choose partnership over partisanship. Stephen Tubbs, one of my friends, used to always comment on Denver and decay. Well, Douglas County can lead the way and it can start with this board. And we can do this, you can do this together. So that's what I'm looking for in a president. Someone who embraces those qualities, someone that will choose partnership over partisanship, someone that will put this district above certainly political parties and will always do, and we will disagree, and Brad, you and I have disagreed on a lot of stuff, but I have never doubted that Brad or Susan, I don't know Valerie that well, but she served on our DAC, or any of the members up here, including David Ray, who used to sit here, was trying to do in their heart of hearts what they believed. And that's what we need out of a president, and that's what we need and expect out of this board. So, any other comments on president?
Just a